Relatable content.
Should we have a New Year's song?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Have a little, what is it? Jingle?
Yeah. Okay, actually, I do have a friend who's on the dance team who does music. His name is Kevin.
Kevin? We have another Kevin in our lives?
Another Kevin. And Otto and I were coursing him into following this podcast. So if he's listening...
Otto, you're a real one. Always, what do you call
Always
it?
supporting.
Yeah.
If he's listening, maybe I can course him into helping us with the jingle.
Side tangent. Facebook Marketplace, the weirdest place ever. Like,
it's
I think
kind of crazy.
If you've ever tried to sell anything on Facebook Marketplace, I think it's just a universal truth at this point that they're just fucking weird. I feel like it's become like Craigslist, you know?
Yeah. To find a sane person on Facebook Marketplace is a treasure. Like, very few and far between.
Yeah.
And we've both been on like this side of trying to buy something and sell something.
Yep.
And they're weirdos either way. Like, you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I was just telling Claire that like my weirdest interactions have been of lately because I'm trying to sell. The other microphone that I had before we upgraded, and just so far no one has offered me to actually buy it from me. Some person literally sent me a picture of a very creepy person, that says apparently it's them and their child, and I was like, why are you sending? They're like proof that I have a kid and I'm not lying. And I'm like, why do I need this information?
Yeah.
Like, on what grounds?
Yeah.
What does this have to do with you wanting to buy my mic? Just tell me this.
Has nothing to do with that.
People are weird. Just people are weird. Kevin, do you need a microphone? Because I know where you can get one.
Only $30.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
People are weird.
New Year, same weirdos.
New Year, same weirdos. But yeah, on that note, Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy New Year's, everyone. We made it to 2023. How's that?
I don't know. I honestly, today, I forgot it was 2023, and I had to ask Bud. I was like, it was 2023?
Literally.
It's crazy. And I saw a post the other day where it was like, oh, me and my friend were talking about something 30 years ago, and for some reason my mind thought 30 years ago was 1970. It's like, no.
First of all, how dare you? How fucking dare you?
It's really, I genuinely can't tell if it's, I can't like gauge time properly, or if it's because of COVID and we lost 2 years that I cannot gauge time properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like
other people when they were
psyche.
in their early mid-20s, if that's just like a universal truth of just not being able to gauge time, or
or if it's genuinely because of that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It hurts my brain.
It does.
But welcome back to the Midnight Memo. My name is Claire.
And I'm Kristen.
And we are so happy to have you with us for season 3. Whoa. We have come out of our...
Season 3 in 2023. Wow, that's cute.
Wow. We planned that, totally.
Yep.
We didn't just come up with that right now.
This podcast has not entirely been winging it. I don't know what you mean. It's all been very intentional and very well calculated. Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, but we've come out of our winter hibernation
station.
Yeah, we got some time off, which was really needed, I think, for us. I hope you guys also had some time to just relax with friends and family, celebrate the holidays, the New Year's. Yeah.
Because we haven't seen each other in a month.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other for a while.
Yeah, which is crazy. Considering I see you like every other day usually.
Usually we're on a tight schedule.
But
yeah,
crazy.
We were supposed to see each other.
Yeah.
But then, okay, guys, if you were traveling this winter, was it a shit show for you guys? Because it was a shit show for us.
Oh my God.
Like, we had 2 separate
both
situations.
Of us. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but both equally
devastating.
Horrible. Yeah. It was so unorganized. Like, it just brought to light the fact that, and I know all airline workers work very hard, I know, but at the same time, the lack of organization that is happening.
Yeah. Like, there's a hole in the system. Like, the flow of things, there's an obvious hole that I feel like has been pointed out. I don't know if the hole has always been there and we just like are now noticing the gaping hole, or I shouldn't say that. Oh my God, stop.
Have you noticed the gaping hole?
New Year, and I'm still giving out innuendos where Claire just looks at me as soon as I say it and she's like and she's like, did you really just say that?
I keep enjoying it, so
I don't.
But do you want to tell them about your bad?
You go first. Yours happened first.
Okay. So I was supposed to fly home down to San Diego for the holidays, and I guess like everyone in Seattle kind of knows that to fly out earlier, but I was like, I'm gonna wait, like, and we were gonna go to a drag show the night before anyway, so we're like, okay, like we can still go to the show and then I'll fly out the next day.
Right.
But
had a whole plan.
Yeah, we were like, we got it, it's done. And then all of a sudden Seattle and a lot of America got like a really intense winter storm, and so basically all of the streets of Seattle were frozen,
which I feel like if anyone was paying attention to the news, not to like toot our own horn, but I feel like everyone I talked to who isn't from Seattle as well, and I was saying how, because I just barely missed that snow because I drove out, but we like missed it by like a couple hours. Like we were driving out at 7 a.m. The snow hit at 10 a.m. Like literally barely missed it. And national news, I feel like everyone I talked to was like, oh yeah, I saw that on the news, because there were just so many memes, TikToks, whatever, of people,
just like cars sliding down hills,
down to Queen Anne and just everywhere. I feel like it was terrible, but it was also kind of funny. Like
the videos were funny.
The videos were so funny, but like I can't imagine being in that situation. That's terrifying.
Yeah, and so basically the night I was supposed to fly out, we were stuck at the gate, like in the plane, for like 3 hours. But they literally let us know, like, if you want to get off the plane, you can. And I was like,
okay.
If I get off this plane,
I know it's gonna
take off.
Oh, I have a story after that. Okay, but keep
yeah,
going.
and so I was like, no, I'm gonna stay on the plane. It's whatever. And we eventually got to like a 30-minute marker where they're like, if we don't take off in 30 minutes, like we're gonna cancel the flight, because I think there's a new rule in place to not allow
people on there for so long.
Yeah, and same for the pilots and the flight attendants. And so we're like, okay, whatever. And so part of me was like, just get off the plane. You can go reschedule your flight. But I was like, no, I'm like holding out. I'm holding out if there's a slight chance that we can get out of here on time. And keep in mind as well that I had my carry-on, but then they were looking for volunteers to check their bags at the gate. And so I was like, I'll do that, whatever. So I literally like, I know that my bag is there. Lo and behold, 38 minutes later, canceled. So I was like, great. All of the flights were canceled for that night. So there's an 8-mile long line for the ticketing counter. And I was like, obviously I'm not going to get to a representative. So I'm on the phone. It's an 8-hour wait on the phone too. So I'm like, well, okay, whatever. Even
that's a whole fucking work day. That's ridiculous.
And so I was like, I just thought that because Christmas is such a high volume travel season and winter happens every year, people would the airlines would plan for maybe hire more staff for that evening, just for in case things like this happen. But I got off the plane and I was like, hey, can I get my bag? It's a checked bag. I just checked it literally a couple hours ago, like at the gate. They're like, we have no instructions for that. That was her answer to me. I'm like,
what the fuck?
What do you mean you don't have instructions for that?
Yeah, like, is this an unheard of situation where you've never had to handle it?
Yeah, and I was like,
unless you're new, how has that never been? This has never occurred ever.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so what do I do? And she's like, just follow the signs to ticketing. And I was like, but what about my bag? Like, what's happening? She's like, I don't know. And so basically, I had to go out to the ticketing counters. Obviously, I'm not going to get to a person. And so I just asked another Alaska Airline employee, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't know what's happening. I was like, no one knows what's happening to the bags for like obviously hundreds of people. And then on the loudspeaker intercom, they were like, oh yeah, we're sending all of the baggage to a storage warehouse.
Oh my God, stop.
We will contact you in 2 to 3 hours and you'll have to tell us where to send your bags. And I was like, that was all of the information.
Yeah.
I was like, you couldn't even put it on the baggage claim carousels? Like, what do you mean?
Like, yeah, isn't it more effort to ship it off to a warehouse for you guys than to put it down on the... Yeah. And there's no other flights coming in, so the only bags that are going to be on the baggage carousels are going to be the people who are actively at the airport right now.
Yeah. And so we were asking them that, like, why not just... And then they said, well, last year, because we did that, there were bags just covering all of the baggage claim floor. And so it was super disorganized. And I was like, yeah.
Okay, sure.
But at least you would know where your bag is. And so, like, because they couldn't tell me where my bag was. I was like, you can't even tell me if it's in the airport or if it's on the way to the storage unit. Like, they had no information. So they're like, just wait 2 to 3 hours. At this point, too, because I had an evening flight, it was like probably midnight. And I was like, I'm not going to hang out for 2 to 3 hours to see if you can get me my bag. So I just went home at that point.
Yeah.
But 15 hours later, hadn't heard from them. So I went back to the airport and I said, hey, where's my bag?
Yeah.
And they're like, we have no information on that. I'm like,
are you fucking kidding me?
No. I was like, so we asked them, like, well, where's the warehouse? And they're like, oh, we can't tell you that. You can't go there. It's like,
you're literally holding my fucking possessions hostage. Like, what the fuck?
And, you know, for the holidays, like, I brought nice clothes down, you know, for whatever. And I also had, like, a work laptop in there. I'm like,
oh my God, you put your work.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm going to be on the plane. I'd rather read on the plane. Like, I'll just put it in my...
Right, you wouldn't even... Yeah.
So you have no idea where my bag is. They're like, no. In my brain, I'm like, you don't have a system to check where the bags are. I'm like, okay. And this guy also had an attitude. I'm like, I get it. You've been dealing with people for 15 hours. Yeah. But at the same time, we've been dealing with no communication for 15 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll let it go. I'll wait another couple of hours.
You're so patient.
We went to the mall for like 5 hours or whatever, just to like shop around, because I wasn't supposed to spend Christmas in Seattle, so I had no gifts. I had nothing. And so then still didn't hear back. Went back again. Third time, there's a line now to talk to people at baggage claim. We talked to this one woman, and she
at
was
this
like,
point, like, Alaska has never reached out to you at this point.
Never.
Your interactions were you self-devoted to going to the airport yourself.
Exactly. And I was like reading online on the app where they were like, before 24 hours, you need to like go and talk to someone and get like a claim number or like something like that.
Yeah, before you leave the airport.
Yeah, so that if we lose it, then you can get reimbursed. Yeah. And I was like, no one told us to do that. So if I hadn't looked it up, then if they had lost my baggage, I would have been like shit out of luck, basically. Yeah. And so we talked to this woman who, by the way, like all of these interactions, they didn't ask me one question. Yeah. They didn't ask, what flight were you on? Where were you going? What day was this? Like, have you rebooked? Like, they didn't ask me anything. They were just there to say, we don't know. Yeah. And so I like kept showing them like the little, barcode that you get when you check a bag.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're like, keep this with you. Right, I'm like, why do you give me this if you're not going to even use it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, why? You have to be scanning my bag to know where it's going, right? And so finally, the third woman, I'm like, just please scan this. And she did it like very begrudgingly, like she didn't want to do it. I'm like, it takes 2 seconds, please.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, like, did you rebook? And I was like, yeah, for like 3 days out because all of the flights were taken for the next few days.
Whatever, right?
Yeah. And she was like, you're still going to San Diego? I'm like, yes. She's like, well, your bag was checked onto a flight at 3 p.m. today, so it's in San Diego. And I'm like, so 5 hours ago when I was here, my bag was in the airport and you couldn't give it to me. Yeah, so I was so annoyed. At least I know where it is, but we had asked her, I'm like, there's no internal system that you guys have to like check, oh, what airport is it in? Like, they could have, flight is it on? Like, oh, it got checked into the storage unit. Like, you couldn't track any of that, or they weren't even willing to let us know any information about it. Like, it was
I refuse to believe that they don't have a system where they didn't track it. I feel like they just didn't want to, like, how this person begrudgingly like scanned it, because then that would lead to more steps, and if I did that for every person, whatever. Yeah, so like I kind of get that when you're dealing with so many people, and like this has impacted so many people on each flight, let alone multiple flights. Yeah, but fuck, like, it's your response. It wasn't your fault that the weather got fucked up, but like at the same time, like, you're facing the consequences as a company and you gotta fucking make it right. Yeah, like,
and I'm like, this is part of the job description. Like, you need to, like, it was just really annoying. And I get it. I've been in customer service and I've dealt with stupid people. I've dealt with mean people. I've dealt with lazy people. Like, I get it.
Yeah, we've dealt with people, period.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was my winter travel experience this year. Hello. If you're hearing this, that means we have found a break in our trains of thought. I know. Kind of crazy. Like our podcast isn't chaotic or something like that. Anyway, this week we have a sponsor for this episode, and our sponsor is Newsly. And you're probably wondering, what is Newsly? Well, Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. So you can stop scrolling and start listening. You can follow any topic as specific as you'd want, from sports to business to Bitcoin, or even the Kardashians. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. Our podcast, The Midnight Memo, will be there too. Make sure to check them out. Download and use Newsly for free now from www.newsly.me or from the link we have down in our description. You can also use the promo code TMM for 1 month of free premium subscription. That is right. So make sure to go check us out on the Newsly app. You will not regret it. And now back to the podcast.
So actually I was supposed to see Claire, spend New Year's with Claire. Yeah. And we were literally at the airport and we thought we were being nice. There were 2 flights out from Reno to San Diego, and we chose I've been having like these like moments too, like right before I make a decision, where like I'm like, and what if this happens? And then I choose the opposite of it, and then it goes horribly wrong. I don't know, like it either happens how I anticipate it or it doesn't. Yeah. But like I have a feeling of like how it's going to turn out, and then I make decision either for it or against it, whatever. But it ends up being how my feeling was lately, and it's really, really weird. So had this feeling, I should have listened to it. We were deciding between the early morning and the mid-morning one, and we chose the mid-morning one because we were flying out New Year's Eve, and we're gonna be with you guys all night, like you know, celebrating all night, whatever. Yeah. So we were like, okay, let's choose the later one, so that way we have sleep in a little bit, rest up for the evening activities. Yeah. And as soon as we made that decision, I was like, what if something goes wrong? We should take the early, like my intuition was like, we should take the earlier one in case God forbid something happens, we have the later one to fall back on. Yeah. Because taking this later one is, we have no fallback. But my partner convinced me, and I was like, no, it's fine. Like with the flight voodoo thing, like I've been doing okay. So I was like, it should be fine. We should be fine. And then we get to the airport, and I don't know if it's the same flight that we were originally looking at or if it was another one, whatever.
Yeah.
But there was another flight out of the airport 20 minutes before our flight originally was supposed to be. And I turned to my partner and I was like, because it started to get a little gray outside and it was supposed to start snowing. We were actually supposed to have a storm, I think, the 2 days from then. So like after New Year's, but timelines moved, whatever. So I was looking outside at the snow and I was like, that's getting close. And I saw the flight that was 20 minutes before and I turned to my partner and I was like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if we switch onto that earlier flight because, you know, just in case, but it's okay. It's only 20 minutes. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. And they were flying. It was leaving out at the same gate too.
Yeah.
So I was like, we just got to show up 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Didn't listen to myself. Didn't do anything. Plus my partner was on call. So he was actually like, he had to take a moment to do work things. So we didn't like rush over to the gate because he had to deal with things. Okay, sure. Whatever. Get to the gate right when that other plane is boarding and it takes off. And that is the last flight that leaves for the entire day because that snow hit 10 minutes later where our plane that was supposed to come in apparently didn't have enough visibility to land, flew all the way back to San Diego. So shit. God forbid you were those people who were on that plane who came all the way from San Diego to Reno. You're literally like flying over the terminal.
I would be pissed.
And they're like, we don't have the visibility. You got to take it's only an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah,
less than 2 hours.
It's not too bad.
So it's like not a huge plane or not a huge flight, but still. So my partner's like, at least we weren't that, but I was so pissed.
I was pissed too.
No, and then, okay, how you were saying about like staying at the airport, I kept having, bro, I should have fucking listened to myself. So we're at the airport and they were like, we're canceled. Like, can't rebook. Everyone was at the line trying to rebook themselves. And me and my partner, being the little techies that we were, we just rebooked it for later that afternoon. And we were just living on a prayer that the snow was going to clear up and we could fly out later. Because it looked like there was supposed to be a gap, and there was like a 50-50 chance it was either going to get a gap in the afternoon or it was going to snow all the way through until the next day. So we were hoping on a prayer for that flight, and my dad had just dropped us off at the airport, and my mom, he calls me and he's like, do you want me to pick you guys up, because our flight wasn't for like another 4 hours. And I was like, it sucks for him to drive all the way here, pick us up and then go back, but I also don't want to wait at the airport for 4 hours. Okay, so he's coming to pick us up. As he's coming to pick us up, me and my partner are refreshing the app and like just looking for flights, and it takes my dad about an hour to get down to us. The flight was supposed to be at like 11:40. By the time he picks us up, it's like close to 12:30. And our rebooked flight was I think at 5. So we're gonna have just enough time to like go home, hang out for like an hour.
Yeah, and then come back.
Yeah, really shitty, but whatever. And as we're refreshing, my partner sees another flight that's I think at 3. So basically, if we stayed at the airport, we'd stay there for like maybe an extra hour, but then we could get on that one. Yeah. But it wasn't showing available. It showed the flight there. We couldn't rebook it for some reason. It was like not letting us. I don't know why. But I was like, should we rebook for? He's like, do you want to try for that one? And I was like, part of me was like, we should just stay here. Unfortunately, just tell my dad to go home and just like try for this other flight. Yeah. We should. But because we couldn't rebook it, I was like, okay, maybe that's a sign because we can't book it. Maybe it's nothing. We get home, we're trying to check our flights. The flight that we rebooked ended up just saying canceled. Like we just kept checking it, whatever. But that 3 o'clock flight left. It literally was the only flight. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know what happened. Yeah. I didn't see the snow let up, but maybe it did for like a split second, like just spread out enough dust that they could see through. I don't know. But that flight left. That 3 o'clock flight that said unavailable until we got home to my place. Yeah. And then my partner checked the page again, and suddenly that 3 o'clock flight was bookable. But it meant we would have to literally leave my house like at that second and run through the terminal, and maybe we would make it. Yeah. And he was just, I mean, understandable. We had been going through this for a few hours now. He was like, I just don't, like, let's just wait for our flight. And I was like, okay. That flight takes off. Our flight doesn't, gets delayed, canceled, whatever. I'm devastated. That's just travesty. Nice. And so that was upsetting. So did I get to spend New Year's with Claire, and she partied without me, and I'm very, very upset about that. Yeah. And then went to Disney the next day without us, and I'm very sad that we didn't get to have Disney with you, because we still haven't gone to Disney together in our partners.
Listen, okay, yeah, it was a really good day too.
Yeah, that makes me upset. Like, I'm happy for you, but I'm very upset I wasn't there.
I was so pissed. No, we were really upset because we were like, oh, like we like had everything planned, and we we're like, oh, this would be great, and like Splash Mountain was closing and like all that stuff.
I know.
And so,
yeah.
But maybe in March. So moral of the story, Gab is to blame, and in order to repay for the damages done in the new year, you have to go in March.
Yes.
Okay. Cleared. We got it.
On the record.
On the record. It's on the record.
Oh my gosh.
So it's happening.
This poor man. But yeah, I was just like, yep. I could feel the manifestation of like the last 2 years blessing me with like relatively smooth sailing flights just like come crashing down in that moment. The universe just told us we couldn't, and it was devastating.
Yeah. Rough stuff. Anyway,
indeed.
if you plan on flying any place around Christmas time or New Year's,
moral of
probably
the
don't.
story. Oh my gosh, yeah. But I mean, the one good thing about that came out of that is I got to do my vision board.
Whilst in airport activities.
Me and my partners. So as I was crying that this was not coming together, trying so hard not to cry, and my partner's trying to console me because I'm a giant Disney freak and he realizes I'm not gonna go to Disney, so he's trying to like comfort me. We had like a little date night and we made vision boards, and that was because I was like, I really want to do this for the New Year's, because it was all over my TikTok feed. It was all over. People were like, you know, make your vision board for 2023, like manifestation, all of that jazzness. And I was like, yeah, I want that for me. I know I'm not gonna get my shit together in a year. Like I'm realistic.
Like,
let's be clear here. I know I'm not gonna get my shit together, but like let's give it a good effort, you know?
Is this like a vision board for like New Year's resolutions, or just like vision board for?
So how I approached it is I started thinking, so I was planning this for like maybe a month ish, and I was just like, so I had like a little notes. I still have my notes app, and it was just like of things that I want in the new year, like, okay, I want to start going to the gym more regularly, sure. Okay, I want to start eating healthier, sure. Like little goals and things that I want to like either better my life or just do better at.
Yeah.
Get my skincare routine under, like actually develop a skincare routine instead of like manically washing my face for a week straight and then forgetting for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
Uh-huh.
So I slowly over the months started like accumulating this list that I had of just like, look, I wrote a whole note. Like,
wow.
She tried to get her shit together. Oh, okay. So apparently this is my picture, because apparently to make a vision board, what you do is you start to envision what your best self looks like. It's like a pyramid, a reverse pyramid. So vision, and then your goals. What are the goals that are going to help you prepare to be a better person? Actions that you're going to take to accomplish those goals, and then create the images and the pictures and actually make the vision board. Get the pictures that represent. I kind of did it in a reverse order, where I started with the goals.
So you saw the directions, you said no.
Okay. I saw these directions like the day after I made it. But then I still put it there because I was like, here's what I need to do next.
Gotcha.
But so I did it a little bit backwards, where I started with just like in my day-to-day, like throughout December, I was like doing something and I'd be like, I want to get better at that. Then I would just like write a little note. So like one of the things on here is like budgeting. So
yeah.
So just it started with just like a raw random list of things I wanted to get better at. And then as I was looking at more vision board stuff, people were talking about like I think like one of the things I saw were like the 4 most common groupings, I guess, of like things. So like of categories in people's vision boards. So like health, wealth, spirituality, sick rod, and financial. So I looked at my raw list and I started grouping them into categories. I have a few more than that. So my categories are health, career, hobbies, financial, spiritual, relationships, and then like my own personal goals. So categorize my very long list into these certain categories and sublists, and then from there I like picked up pictures that either represented these specific goals, or I guess like a general image of what I wanted that category to be. So like for one good one is like for spiritual, like I believe in manifestation numbers. Like I'm slowly getting into that. Okay. So like the triple digits and things like that, like 666 angel numbers. Yes. Okay. The like me and my partner were talking about that because our anniversary date is actually 6/6, June 6th. So we're talking about like, I was like anniversary numbers, and I was like, we can't do a triple number. And he's like, yeah. So, but like other ones, so like I have 888 is like one of the ones I really like, so that's on my vision board and stuff like that. So after having my list, and as I was crying over not getting these lights, I spent 2 hours on Canva and Pinterest, a lot of Pinterest random searching. Also, like, it was terrible, just like, so like one of these goals, I wanted to be a better dog mom. And so I have like a few things of like things I can do, like exercise with her more, be better at recall training, like little goals on that. But then it's like, how do I come up with a picture on recall training for my dog? Like, what's the picture?
It's the picture of her like bolting away from you, and you're just like,
right? So it's like for some of these, it was really hard to come up with like a picture to encapsulate the very clear goal. So that part's a little shaky. And so on Pinterest, just like my search history on my Pinterest was getting real weird. It'd be like hot dog mom walk, or like Dog with not white mom. Like,
Dog with non-Caucasian woman.
because it was like one of the things I've also seen is like when you make a vision board, you want to try to leave people out of it. Like if you're gonna put a person on it, try to use your own pictures or like not faces, because then you're gonna try to compare yourself to that person and it's not that person. You want the life behind it, blah blah blah. So it's like you don't want to put people's faces in it really. So it's really hard to get a picture of a person with a dog without the person's face in it. And how you try to Google around that, like I started looking up real weird stuff. It was getting real niche in there, like, or like I wanted to take more height, so I looked up like granola girl or something.
Granola aesthetic.
Yeah. So it's like, and it's cause like what else? Nice person back of someone's head hiking up a trail in the forest. Like it gets to these really weird corner cases.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I did for a while. And
Good.
I don't have it up here on because I think I'm logged into our Canva on the Midnight Memo and not my own personal one, but I'll somehow add it on here.
Yeah.
It's very, very thorough and I am very proud of it. But it's a lot.
Yeah.
It took a lot. Spent like a good 2 hours Pinteresting and picturing things. I think my partner spent maybe 30 minutes while he was pounding his beer.
That's such a guy thing.
I think it's very cute though, and it's like very nice. His vision board is like, it has like a little plane because he wants to travel more. I think there was a green card on there. Like, he has very clear goals what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And it's very cute, but like he's like, these are the big, it's just, they're so, men can be very simple, and that's not an insult, it's just a difference, you know? So he's like, he had clear, like he wants A, B, C. He has a picture of A, B, and C, and that's it.
There's no embellishment.
There's no embellishment.
Okay. Yeah.
But he did it. He tried. He got some little art, like clip art, so put his name on it. It's very, very cute.
Yeah.
But we have very different vision boards. I'm gonna ask him if I can like steal his, so we can like put the comparison.
Yeah. Exhibit A, Exhibit B. Yeah.
But
so in like your vision board, did you like include resolutions for like this new year, or did you even make any New Year's resolutions, or is this like separate?
This is, so for me, I also saw, because I feel like it's for most people, I think they would agree that like New Year's resolutions kind of suck, because it feels like such a hard definitive rule of like New Year, like it is January 1st, okay, I'm gonna get all my shit together this year, and that's so daunting.
Yeah.
So I did see quite a few people who were doing like more of like sectioning off their goals by months. So like those subcategories I was talking about, like health, wealth, financials, and I think personal relations were like the main 4 ones, whatever, let's say that. They were assigning a subsection to a month. So like January for me is health. And so I'm looking at mostly my health specific goals and not like trying to attack all of them at once. Like I'm not suddenly going to go to the gym like 20 times, like every day. I'm not going to suddenly like eat all my fruits and veggies and all that stuff like at the drop of a hat. Like, so it's more like small accomplishables that I'm going to focus on integrating into my daily routine this month, and then next month I'll try something else. So like for me, working on health, my big crazy goals are like, go to the gym all the time, eat better, and then something else.
Yeah.
So actually, here, let me show you. So yeah, eat better, work out more consistently were like the big overarching ones. So then like my January more like accomplishables were take at least 1 fitness class a week, go to the gym at least 1 to 2 times a week, and drink 3 hydros a day.
Yeah.
So just like really hopefully simple, but like basically habit stacking, more like it, I think.
Yeah.
Of like trying to build up these habits. Last week doesn't count because I was dead. It was like the second week into the year.
Yeah.
I got food poisoning. I've been like out and dead for the last week, which therefore I wasn't going to the gym because I've been drinking soup for 4 days, like literally just soup and rice and toast for 4 days straight.
Yeah.
But that was definitely like a critical hit to like my morale of like, oh, I have these very small 4 accomplishables that I can ideally easily accomplish for this month to have it stack and move on.
Yeah.
And 1 out of 4 of these weeks is just no.
Done. Yeah.
But trying to stay optimistic, keep it going. We'll see.
Yeah. I like am very against New Year's resolutions. Like this, especially this year. I don't know. For some reason this year didn't feel like a new beginning for me. Like, you know, on the new year, sometimes you feel like, okay, like it's a new year. It's like new opportunities. But this year I was just like, it didn't feel any different.
No.
Like from January 1st, I was like, it just didn't like click in my brain or something.
No, me too.
And similar to you, like I don't want to say like I have 3 goals for the entire year. And it's very daunting, very intimidating. So for me, I'm definitely the type of person who's like, if I have a new goal, I will start it tomorrow. But I'm not going to be like,
I'm gonna wait till the new year to start
Yeah.
this, or I'm
gonna wait till next week. I'm gonna wait till Monday. Like, because if I do that, then I know my brain will say, no, you're not. Like, you're not gonna do that. And then if I accidentally fall off the wagon, or like say I want to eat healthier and I have meal prep, whatever, for starting Monday, and then on Wednesday I go off of it, then I'm gonna be like, oh, I'll just start the next Monday. Like, my brain can get caught in those cycles where it has to be like every Monday or next week or next month. So if I get into that cycle, then I'm never going to accomplish the goals that I set for myself. So I have to be the type of person who's like, if I have a new goal, I'm going to have to start working towards it tomorrow. Because if I let myself have that much leniency with like, because what's today? Today's Monday. But if I say I want a new goal, am I going to count today as the Monday? No, I'm going to count next week. So that's a whole nother week that I let myself not work towards that goal.
And it kind of becomes like almost like Sunday scaries of like you're just waiting and you're like, oh shit, I have to get ready for Monday. I have to get ready for Monday. I have to get ready for this new thing that I'm going to start doing on Monday. Yeah,
the anticipation builds. Your expectations change so rapidly. I did hear one stat where it says your brain, if you have a command for yourself, say like you're laying in bed and you have to get out of bed.
I've seen that one.
Yeah. If you don't do it within 5 seconds, you're not going to do it.
Your body's going to talk you out of it.
Yeah.
Your brain's going to talk you out of it.
So imagine yourself like giving yourself 25 hours or like a week or a month. Like, if you can get talked out of something in 5 seconds, like...
5 seconds times how many to make up a month or a week or whatever. Yeah.
And so... Again, and like I feel like a lot of people's New Year's resolutions are huge goals.
Yeah,
huge,
because they're looking at it of trying to accomplish it over a year, which is fair if that works for you. But for me, that doesn't. Because that's so daunting.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna think of a goal that's gonna be big enough for a year. I mean, like over 5-year plans and all that, but that also doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me either. So I like to beat this. I've made 0 New Year's resolutions. And I've stuck to it thus far. So
look at her. She's already ahead of all of us. She's already ahead of us.
I've accomplished all of my goals already.
None.
I didn't have any. Yeah, life hack. Have no goals for yourself so you always accomplish it.
We love to hear.
But yeah, I haven't set any goals for myself this year.
But that totally, like what you're just saying about like if you decide that something's a goal for yourself and then you act on it, that's absolutely how you are as a person in general.
Yeah.
Because you will... That's definitely how we run shit.
Yeah.
Claire would just be like, I found out I've decided we're gonna do this thing for the podcast, blah blah blah. And she texts me and she has a plan. She never does. Every once in a while, it's just a random idea, and I'm like, okay, cool. And there might not be follow up, but those are usually the ones that kind of flake out. Usually you'll come in and you're like, here's my 10-step process to this thing I've thought about for the last like day or whatever the fuck it's been. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like you laid it all out for me already. I just have to say
yeah.
Which is why
for this
I love
new
it.
season, I'm thinking this, and this.
Yeah. Yep. And I was like, great, sounds like a plan. Love all those, love the goals, love the steps. We're doing it.
Yeah,
it's much makes it easy.
Yeah, and I like what you said too about like it's not really like goals, but it's like habits that you're building. And I think in some cases, when you think of it in that way, it's easier to accomplish. Yeah, because it's like kind of baby steps rather than like, okay, like I've accomplished 1 out of the 3 things, I've accomplished 2 out of the 3 things, to reach like a goal or something like that, or form a habit, rather than being like, I'm gonna accomplish 25 hikes this year. Yeah. And be like, okay, like which hikes are they? How long are they gonna be? Like it's very daunting. So, yeah. I like that.
You can't accomplish, like, you're not gonna freaking climb Mount Everest just by tomorrow.
Yeah. It's not like without any prep.
Yeah. Cece in New York.
Yeah. I mean, she can do it.
I'm gonna hike Mount whatever the fuck she said.
Shasta.
Tomorrow? As she's raiding her freaking
just getting some crackers. Don't even mind me.
I'm just gonna hike a mountain tomorrow. Like a huge ass mountain. Yeah. Could not be I.
I mean, if I was having a manic episode, definitely.
Oh, I mean, we would think about it. Like, casually. Do you want to take a 14-hour drive to Reno?
Maybe. Listen. This past couple weeks,
I would take
it. This is a mental health check. How are you feeling about a 14-hour road trip?
This is what Claire and I use as our gauge of like how you're doing.
Yeah. If you're all for it, then we need to talk.
We need to have a talk. We need to have a very deep talk.
Yeah. Like, okay.
With like asylum hotline on speed.
Yeah. Guys, what are your mental health checks? Do you have any? Because we do.
That's ours, yeah.
Yeah.
Have we made a new one? I feel like we need a new one.
I feel like we have 2. It's like, how ready are you to go on a 14-hour road trip? Yep. If you're ready, then we need to talk.
Very clear. That's a clear line.
Yeah. Know? And then, are you sleeping with all of your limbs within the vicinity of your bed?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Because if you're ready just to let the devil take you under, like, you're okay, like, again, we'll check in. How are you doing?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I did sleep with one of them off the bed last night. Yeah. Not doing okay. I'm telling you now. I'm not doing.
Okay, we'll have a talk.
We'll have a talk
this.
after offline conversation. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Overall, I feel like we have some exciting things coming for the Midnight Memo this year. And
don't hype it up to,
season
like, too
3,
much, bro.
Okay, when I say this, still keep your expectations
at a reason.
like here, you know,
like unnamed dog aside.
Yeah,
Of
like,
Claire's dog to be named.
Yeah, keep them low, but get hype, but like not too hype.
Yeah,
like reasonably know that we have a podcast. Period. Continue to listen.
Is that the bar?
Yeah.
Know that we have a podcast.
Continue to listen.
Okay.
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
If you ever have a business, don't ask Claire to leave you a review on Google.
I think this is marketing 101. I think I'm doing a great job.
You can think that.
I'll continue
We'll
to
leave
think that.
other people to agree or disagree.
Yeah, speaking of which, if you have a review for us, Spotify and Apple Podcast listeners, make sure to leave us a review. Or if you want to follow us on our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe, comment on our videos.
Hit the bell so you'll be notified when the next episode drops.
Yeah,
You know.
all of our social media accounts will be either in the description or on the screen. Make sure to follow us.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are still on the Newsly app.
Again, a great app. Get all of your news updates there. Podcasts are there. The Midnight Memo is on there. So it's a great app to get for your phone.
Yes.
You can use the code down below TMM to get a month of free premium subscription, which is always great.
Free 90 free.
Everything's better when it's free.
Absolutely. I got free ice cream last night. That was dope. Anyway.
That's great.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a surprise too. They were like, "Are you ready for your ice cream?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I am."
I am now.
Yeah,
Let me unbutton my pants real quick.
That's actually what I did though. It was wonderful. I made room, you know?
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
great. It was wonderful.
Oh. Well,
But
we will see you next week, next Tuesday.
yes, we're off our hiatus. We are gonna start season 3, so be ready for weekly episodes again.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday for our podcast listeners and for what are those
Our
called?
YouTube watchers?
Video cast, whatever. Our YouTube watchers, then a new episode every Wednesday.
Yep. All right.
Well, night guys.
Bye.
Bye.